Hey everyone, how's it going? Uh, it's T. I was sitting here thinking, is there anything better than playing some Minecraft and judging people on the internet? Probably not, right? So today, I've got some absolute insanity from Reddit for us to go through. We're talking about massive family secrets, wedding drama, and workplace betrayals that honestly, they sound like they're straight out of a movie. While I read these, I'll be playing some Minecraft. Honestly, I haven't played this game in a minute, so if I make some questionable survival choices, like falling into a hole, just bear with me, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's dive into the drama. Our first story today is a heavy hitter from the Am I the A-hole subreddit, and it's about a wedding that basically turned into a legal battle before the cake was even cut. The poster, who we'll call Anna, explains that she's been planning her dream wedding for 3 years. She's one of those people who had a vision board since she was 10 because she spent so much money on a high end videographer and photographer. She insisted on an unplugged ceremony, no phones, no cameras, no exceptions. She even hired a security firm to manage a phone valet where people had to check their devices into locked cubbies at the door. It sounds intense, but hey, it's her day, right? Well, the conflict started with her maid of honor, Sarah. Sarah is Anna's best friend since childhood, but she also just had her first baby 6 months ago. The baby has some minor respiratory issues, nothing life-threatening, but enough that Sarah is naturally on edge, leaving him with a sitter for the first time. Sarah pulled Anna aside a week before the wedding and said, "Hey, I totally respect the no phone rule for the guests, but as your maid of honor, I'll be standing right next to you. Can I just keep my phone on vibrate in my pocket? If the sitter calls, I'll know it's an emergency with the baby." Anna's response, a hard no. She told Sarah that if a phone vibrated or caused a bulge in the bridesmaid dress, it would, like, ruin the aesthetic of the professional shots. The argument escalated quickly. Anna told Sarah that she was being selfish and that she should trust her husband or the sitter to handle things for 4 hours. Sarah pointed out that her husband was also at the wedding as a groomsman, so neither parent would have a phone. Anna then suggested that the sitter could call the venue's landline, and the venue coordinator could come find them if there was an emergency. Sarah found this ridiculous, saying that in a real emergency, every second counts. It ended with Anna telling Sarah that if she couldn't commit to the vision, she should step down from the bridal party and just attend as a guest. So Sarah did exactly that. She stepped down. But then she went a step further. She didn't show up at all. She felt so hurt that her best friend valued a photo over her peace of mind as a new mother that she blocked Anna. Now, the entire friend group is split. Half the girls think Sarah abandoned Anna on her biggest day, and the other half think Anna is a total bridezilla who lost her best friend over a TikTok perfect aesthetic. Anna is now posting on Reddit asking if she should send Sarah a bill for the wasted bridesmaid dress and the catering plate she didn't eat. Okay, let me just gather some of this wood and find a place to settle. Honestly, guys, Sarah, a bridezilla? I mean, am I crazy? I totally get the unplugged wedding thing. Nothing ruins a professional photo like someone holding up a giant iPad in the front row. But she's the maid of honor. That's a tiny human she's worried about. If I'm a mom and my baby is with a sitter for the first time, I am not putting my phone in a locked basket at the door. That feels like a prison camp, not a wedding. I think my verdict here is that Anna is definitely the a-hole. You're choosing a vibe over your best friend's soul. And sending a bill for the dress, um, that is the ultimate bridge burner. This second story is even more complicated and honestly a little heartbreaking. It's about a man who discovered his wife was living a secret financial life for 5 years. He explains that they have always had a what's mine is yours policy. They have a joint account, they share their passwords, and they make every financial decision together. Or so he thought. 3 years ago, he was laid off during a corporate downsizing. It was a nightmare. They were 3 months behind on their mortgage. They sold their second car, and he recalls literally crying in the grocery store aisle because they couldn't afford the good brand of peanut butter. He eventually had to swallow his pride and beg his retired parents for a loan just to keep their house from going into foreclosure. Fast forward to last week. He was on his wife's laptop trying to find a digital copy of their home insurance. She had left her browser open, and he saw a tab for a private wealth management portal he had never heard of. He clicked it thinking it was a phishing scam or an ad, but he was automatically logged in. There, in black and white, was an account with $52,000 in it. He sat there in shock. He looked through the history and saw that the money came from an inheritance she received 6 months before they got married. She had been moving small amounts of interest around for years, keeping it completely hidden from him. When she got home, he confronted her. He wasn't even shouting. He was just trembling. He asked her how she could watch him break down, how she could watch them sell their car and take money from his struggling parents, while she had a $50,000 safety net just sitting there. Her excuse, she said it was premarital property and that her mother told her to always keep a runaway fund in case a husband ever turned abusive or the marriage failed. She told him that because the money wasn't earned during the marriage, she didn't feel obligated to use it, even when they were nearly homeless. Now he's staying at a hotel. He says he doesn't even care about the money itself. He cared about the fact that she stood by and watched him suffer while she held the solution in her hand. She's telling him he's being financially abusive by demanding access to her personal money while he feels like the entire foundation of their trust has been nuked. His parents are furious, his friends are confused, and he's wondering if he even knows the woman he's been sleeping next to for half a decade. Phew, okay, I almost fell into a ravine there. That is dark. Look, legally, yeah, it's her money. In many places, inheritance isn't community property, but morally, imagine watching your partner, the person you supposedly love, break down because they can't pay the mortgage while you're sitting on 50 grand. That's not a safety net, that's a secret escape hatch. To me, if you're keeping a safety net because you think your husband might leave you, you've already checked out of the marriage. Communication is dead here. If I were him, I don't know if I could look at her the same way. What do you guys think? Is it her money, her business, or is this a total betrayal of the marriage vows? Story number 3, and this one is just pure petty revenge. It's from a guy who worked at a mid-sized marketing firm. He says he had been working there for 4 years, putting in 60-hour weeks, and was finally up for a senior director role. His boss, who we'll call Dave, had been promising him the promotion for 6 months. Dave even had him write the training manual for the new role. But then on the day of the announcement, Dave gave the job to his own nephew, a kid who just graduated college and didn't even know how to use the company software. The poster was devastated, but instead of quitting immediately, he decided to be helpful. See, Dave was notoriously bad with technology and had the poster manage all of his high level client folders. The poster realized that Dave had accidentally set the permissions so that anyone with the link could edit the files. Instead of fixing it, the poster waited until the day of a massive pitch to a multi-million dollar client. 10 minutes before Dave was set to present, the poster logged in from a burner account and changed the entire PowerPoint presentation. He didn't delete it, that would be too obvious. Instead, he swapped all the success charts with graphs showing the rise of nepotism in the workplace. He changed the client's logo to a clown emoji. Dave, who never checks his slides before a meeting, opened the presentation in a room full of executives. It was a bloodbath. Dave was fired that afternoon for unprofessionalism and gross incompetence. The poster quit the next day, and now he's working for the competitor who was at that same meeting. Honestly, I know revenge isn't the high road, but sometimes it's the only road if you're going to pass over your hardest worker for your unqualified nephew. You're basically asking for your business to implode. I'm not saying I condone it, but I am saying I get it. Dave learned a very expensive lesson about who actually runs his office. What about you guys? Have you ever had a boss that was just is the absolute worst? Let me know. Our final story today is a total soap opera that happened in real time during a family holiday. This user, we'll call her Elena, was meeting her boyfriend's family for the first time during a big Thanksgiving dinner. Everything was going great. She brought a homemade pie. She was laughing with the cousins, and his mom seemed to really like her. The only red flag was the boyfriend's sister Jen. Jen was quiet, staring at Elena all night with this weird, smug look on her face. Elena just figured Jen was protective of her brother and tried to ignore it. Halfway through the main course, while everyone was talking about their holiday plans, Jen cleared her throat and the room went quiet. She looked directly at Elena and said, "So, Elena, I've been meaning to ask, does your dad know you're here? Or is he still on one of his business trips in Las Vegas?" Elena was confused. She said, "Oh, my dad is actually in Vegas for a tech conference right now. How did you know?" Jen smirked and pulled out her phone. She said, "Funny, because I was in Vegas last weekend for a bachelorette party, and I saw him at the Bellagio. He was getting very cozy with a blonde woman who definitely wasn't your mom. I actually took a photo because I thought it was so brave of him to be out in public like that." Jen then proceeded to pass her phone around the table. Elena's boyfriend tried to grab it, but the mom saw it first and gasped. Elena finally got the phone and her heart shattered. It was undeniably her father, with his arm around a woman half his age, kissing her at a dinner table. Elena had no idea. She thought her parents were happily married for 30 years. She started shaking, she couldn't breathe, and she ended up running out of the house and throwing up in the bushes. The boyfriend's mom started screaming at Jen, calling her vicious and cruel for doing that in front of a stranger. Jen's defense was that she thought Elena knew and was just playing the part of the happy daughter. But everyone at the table knew Jen did it to cause a scene because she didn't like Elena joining the family. Now, Elena's family is in absolute shambles. Her mom has moved out. Her dad is blaming Elena for spying on him. And Elena hasn't spoken to her boyfriend's sister since. She wants her boyfriend to go no contact with Jen. but he's hesitant because that's just how Jen is. First of all, Jen, read the room. Why would you bring that up at Thanksgiving? Even if you think she knows, that is a private conversation over coffee type of thing, not a pass the gravy type of thing. But also, poor girl, imagine trying to make a good first impression and instead your family tree just catches fire in the middle of dinner. I feel for her, and honestly, shout out to the boyfriend's mom for calling out Jen. We love a supportive future mother in law, but the boyfriend, if he's saying that's just how she is about someone who nuked your family, that's a huge red flag for the relationship. This is why I stay home and play Minecraft, guys. The outside world is too much. And on that bombshell, I think I'm going to call it a day. This Minecraft run is looking okay. It's still a mess, but we will fix it next time. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed these stories, or if you have a take on these situations, like seriously, let me know in the comments. I love reading what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more chill vibes and Reddit drama. I've been T, and I'll catch you in the next story. Bye.